Hello there everyone, how have you guys been doing? I hope you guys are all fine and well. Welcome to today's video where we are going to learn about the lymphatic system. Just like how you would need to clean the house, the lymphatic system is, in a way, the body's cleaners. The lymphatic system plays an important role in the immune system, fluid balance, and the absorption of fats. Our body's tissue cells have minute spaces between them called interstitial spaces. The interstitial spaces are filled with a colorless liquid called interstitial fluid. The lymphatic system involves an extensive network of vessels. The vessels passes through almost all our tissue to allow for the movement of a fluid called lymph. To understand this topic better, I will illustrate the formation of interstitial fluid and lymph. These are tissue cells, while this is a body capillary, and this is the lymph capillary. The blood from the arteries flow at a high pressure into the blood capillary. This blood pressure in the capillary forces fluid from the blood plasma to leak out through the capillary walls to the spaces between the tissue cells. The fluid that fills up the space between the tissue cells is known as interstitial fluid. The interstitial fluid is made up of water, digested food, gases, hormones, waste products, and small proteins. This process of producing interstitial fluid from the blood is called ultrafiltration. The interstitial fluid, once formed, circulates around the tissue cells and returns to the blood circulatory system in two ways. Passes into the venous ends of the capillary or drains into the lymph capillary as lymph. The lymph and interstitial fluid have the same composition. The only differences is that interstitial fluid is found between cells and originates from plasma, while the lymph is found inside lymph vessels and originates from interstitial fluid. The importance of interstitial fluid includes tissue fluid fills the interstitial spaces between the tissue cells. It provides them with a stable external environment. Next is nutrients and oxygen from the bloodstream in the capillary network diffuse across the capillary walls through the interstitial fluid to get to the respiring tissue cells. And lastly, waste products that accumulate within the active cells diffuse in the opposite direction across the interstitial fluid from the cells to the capillaries. Next, let's move on to the structure of the lymphatic system. First, we have the lymphatic capillaries. These capillaries are microscopic closed-ended vessels and are larger in diameter than the blood capillaries. They are located next to blood capillaries in tissue spaces. Next, we have the lymphatic vessels. These vessels resemble veins but have thinner walls and more valves. They carry lymph away from the tissues. The lymph node. The lymph node is a cluster of small round structure. It filters lymph when it flows through the nodes. It also eliminates bacteria and debris by phagocytosis. Next, we have the spleen. It is an organ located on the left side of the abdomen near the stomach. It produces lymphocytes, filters blood, stores blood cells and destroys old blood cells. Last but not least, we have the lymphatic ducts. They are parts of the body where the lymph vessels drain their contents back into the bloodstream. You might be wondering, how does the lymph move along in the body? Well, lymph is moved along the lymph vessels in the following ways. The hydrostatic pressure of the interstitial fluid leaving the body capillary pushes the lymph along the lymphatic capillaries. Another way is lymph is squeezed along the lymphatic vessels as the surrounding skeletal muscles contract during movement. This is why exercising is important, as it helps the movement of lymph along the body. Also, valves within the lymphatic vessels ensure that lymph inside them flows away from the tissues towards the heart. Next is I will call upon Dr. Johan to explain the functions of the lymphatic system. Dr. Johan?
Hello there, I'm Dr. Johan. I am going to enlighten you about the functions of the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system complements the circulatory system in the following ways. It transports interstitial fluid back to the bloodstream. It also distributes fluids and nutrients in the body and drains excess fluids and protein. It is so that tissues do not swell up. Next is, it transports absorbed fats and fat-soluble vitamins from the small intestine into the blood circulation. Last but not least is, it provides immunological defenses against diseases by producing lymphocytes and antibodies to fight and destroy microorganisms, and filtering out microorganisms and other foreign substances from the lymph by the lymph nodes and from the blood by the spleen. Got it? Okay. See you later. Back to you, Brenda.
Thanks, Dr. Johan. Now, let's proceed. Sometimes, too much interstitial fluid is produced, but little or none is reabsorbed back into the circulatory system. Do you ever wonder what will happen when interstitial fluid fails to return to the circulatory system? Let's find out. Okay, that concludes the lesson today on the lymphatic system. I hope you guys enjoyed learning and watching this video. See you guys next time.